We are live around the world on 3news.com, and we'll be also happy to hear from you on what you make of the many stories we have for you tonight.
We begin from Parliament, where the Speaker, Alban Babin, has called for an investigation into the alleged leaked tape in which some people were heard calling for the dismissal of the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare. This was after the Deputy Minority Leader, Emmanuel Ama-Kofi-Boa, submitted a statement on the floor of Parliament.
It's a trending news on social media that have made waves in mainstream media. On Tuesday, the Interior Minister dismissed calls for an investigation into it. Unsatisfied, the minority has made an urgent call for an inquest into the matter.
In that leak tape, and the reason why it's important, borders on two very important things. A critical institution, which is the Ghana Police Service, and the head, which is the IGP, and the stability of our country and our democracy.
It appears the majority on the floor were unwelcoming for any inquest that cannot establish the veracity and the characters.
I am here as the Minister for the Interior, and this House has the right to exercise its powers to let me come and answer questions or otherwise. But I will not allow anybody to impute into these statements that are made things that I did not know of. I've made it clear that there is no problem with the IGP. So what is committee about?
It simply means that attempts are being made to dislodge the current IGP so that they can have an IGP who is pliant, who would visit violence on the day of the election on innocent Ghanaians with a view to subverting the will of the electorate. These are matters that need to be thoroughly investigated.
If there's any apprehension on the other side, the Defense and Interior Committee is seized with every power to look into it. I don't want to believe that a leak tape where we don't know the source, we cannot even predict the identity of those in the tape.
But the NDC MPs were bent on having Parliament look into the matter.
Mr. Speaker, it's a truism that there is a leaked tape. Which leaked tape contains matters relating to the conduct of the Inspector General of Police and efforts and attempts at a conspiracy to seek his removal on the basis of those allegations in that tape. We collectively want to preserve this democracy. So what the deputy leader is seeking is that the Honorable Minister, this House, must take interest in conducting a thorough forensic audit into the leak tape.
Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, then gave his directive.
There's the need for an investigation. So I will urge the maker of the urgent statement to submit in writing the terms of the proposed statement, which he just gave us notice. This will guide me to give the direction as to how the investigation or inquiry will be conducted by the appropriate committee of the House.
Still in Parliament, the House has passed the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023. The bill will give the Interior Ministry the authority to issue licenses for the cultivation of cannabis for medicinal and industrial purposes.
Motion that the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023 be now read the third time. Minister for Interior.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I move that the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023 be now read the third time.
The question is that those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
An act to amend the Narcotics Control Commission Act 2022 Act 1019 to insert Section 43 to empower the Minister to grant a license for the cultivation of cannabis, which has not more than 0.3% THC content on dry weight basis for industrial purposes, for obtaining fiber or seed, or for medicinal purposes.
Honorable members, the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023 is deemed read the third time and passed.
Still on this subject, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, had earlier told management of Media General that the benefits that the country could derive from the commercial use of cannabis.
Canada uses it a lot to generate revenue. And we had a lot of businessmen who wanted to invest in Ghana. Because this one is legal, it will be controlled. And so it's only used for pharmaceuticals. And you earn a lot of revenue. So there are many ways of raising revenue, not e-levy. We tried to get him to this saying he will not understand. He had some passion for it, and finally we lost. And this led us to all this. We're looking outside more than inside. But no country, nobody develops from looking outside. As individual, if you don't put in your own effort, and you think that others will borrow you money to develop, you are deceiving yourself. You become a slave in their hands. It's the same for the nation. And so we have to look within Ghana. So all those laws we passed and all the decisions that we gave were to solve problems in the interest of the people.
All right, so let's stay on this subject a while longer. Nana Ajiman is the Chief Executive Officer of the Empire Association of Ghana, HAG. He's joined us via Zoom for a quick chat on this. Nana, good evening and thank you for your time.
Good evening. Good evening to you, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
Right, to start with, what does the passage of this bill mean to you and the many people who are looking at cultivating this for commercial and industrial purposes, medicinal purposes, I should say?
Well, what it means to us is that Ghana is the winner, because it's not just about us as entrepreneurs that we should celebrate alone. This is a winner for Ghana. And so Ghana is the winner in this, because what we are looking at is jobs, tens of thousands of jobs all across Ghana, tens of thousands of direct jobs and indirect jobs across the country, across the nation, something that we need. We have graduates who are leaving the university. They're being told there are no jobs for them. They should go and fend for themselves. But the establishment of this industry is something that could pull in their resources, their knowledge that they have learned in the universities, spent 4 years or so learning in the universities. So that's the first thing. It's also great for the economy, because now the government of Ghana can have something whereby they will generate revenue internally, and that's from the taxes. And if you look at other countries and what those governments have been making from the taxes alone, it's been huge, it's humongous. Then also as well, it's good for the environment, because at the moment we're clamoring to deal with galamsey, and there are farmers that are sitting there that are looking at lands that they were previously paid peanuts for, and those lands have been poisoned with mercury and other toxic chemicals. Well, I wish to inform you that when we cultivate industrial hemp, industrial cannabis on those lands, that those lands will be reclaimed, because the industrial cannabis will absorb all the toxins over a period of time, and the farmers will be able to go back to those farmlands and start cultivating high value crops.
Right.
The same is true with our water bodies. The cultivation of industrial cannabis in those water bodies and on the banks, etc., will clean up those water bodies so that we can return to them and use them in our everyday domestic life.
Right.
And medication, in terms of medication, we have lots of children here and adults that suffer from epilepsy. And the oil from the cannabis, the industrial cannabis, is something that can be used to cure those seizures once and for all. Right. So there's lots of ways that we're going to benefit, but it's not just us who were the advocates, it's Ghanaians as a whole. And today, this evening, for me, I'm happy, and my team is happy, because we celebrate the victory of Ghanaians.
Right. Now, briefly and finally, there are many who thought that the passage of this bill was going to be a permission for people to abuse the cannabis as it is known. Many say, oh, this means that they've legalized weed in Ghana. How do you help us, disabuse the minds of those who thought like that?
Well, categorically, I will tell you that you cannot abuse industrial cannabis. Industrial cannabis has a THC content of 0.3. It's a completely different plant to recreational cannabis, which is something that is consumed via smoking. There will be no abuse of industrial cannabis because it is for industry and it is for medicinal use. So what we will be able to do, we will be able to produce hempcrete so that you could build your studio out of hempcrete. We can produce hemp wood. You can produce hemp charcoal. Everything plastic can be made out of hemp. You can produce the paper that you're using to read the news from. You know, so there's no issue about abuse at all. When people talk about abuse, it's because they're not abreast with what we're really talking about, and they're talking about something else.
Right.
But tonight, Parliament has agreed and approved industrial cannabis, which is not recreational at all. So there's no abuse comes into this at all. It's all about production, because what do we as Ghanaians make? Where's our industry? Today, the government of Ghana, along with the opposition, has agreed that we can establish a new industry where we can produce so many different things, where we can create so many different jobs. It's good for our environment. It's good medicinally. It's good all the way around. And I can't stop reiterating that this is a win for Ghanaians, not just a win for Empire Agri Ghana Limited and all the other stakeholders. It is a big, big win, a very big win for Ghana as a whole.
Nana, thank you so much for your time. Certainly we'll be engaging you further on the right way to get this done productively.
Let's continue with the rest of our stories. And the Ghana Armed Forces is on an operation at border communities in parts of the Upper East region aimed at flashing out foreign nationals suspected to have entered the country under the guise of asylum seekers. Hundreds of people who were rounded up at Satmile Enclave were earlier today being screened by the joint security operatives.
And certainly it's quite an issue having to do with Ghana's security. So our man on the ground, Christopher Marco, who's been following this issue, will be giving us an update specifically from the border town where we are told that the security undertook the operation.
And let's now cross over to our Northern Regional correspondent, Christopher Amwako. Christopher, thank you so much for your time. You were at the Paga border. Tell us more about this operation.
Yes, Portia, these suspected illegal immigrants who entered the country and were arrested by the military were sent to the Paga border where they were screened. They were asked to produce their Ghana card and other documentations that sought to portray that they entered the country legally. Unfortunately, most of them were unable to produce documentation to support their arrival and existence in the country, so they were all repatriated. Those that showed some proof were asked to sit for some time before they will be allowed whether to stay or not. But as we speak, the operation is still ongoing in the areas, especially the unapproved routes where these people enter the country from. And Portia, you remember that early this year, we reported from the Paga area that a community in that area, some people from neighboring Burkina Faso had entered into the country as refugees. A lot of them used that route into the country, and that informed this particular operation where there is this security intelligence that those entering the country may have been carrying some weapons or may have had some links with the terrorist groups. So this operation is to flush out these people who entered illegally and are suspected to be part of some of the terrorist groups.
Is this operation an extension of the evacuation exercise being conducted in the area?
Hello, Portia, can you come again?
I was asking if this operation was the extension of the earlier evacuation exercise which was conducted in the area.
Yes, so Portia, those who entered the country and were recorded as refugees, there is also another exercise for them. For them, they are moving them up from the community because that community is more closer to Burkina Faso. And for that matter, when they enter into the country, it will be very difficult to get to know them. So there is this operation also, an exercise that is going on around the Tilly areas where those who are already in the country are being registered formally as refugees.
Christopher, thank you so much for your time. Let's get further information on this issue and speak to Kofi Amankwa-Manu, who is Deputy Defense Minister. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Why has this exercise become necessary for the Ghana Armed Forces to undertake this operation along our borders?
Good evening, but I can barely hear you.
I was asking why it has become necessary to undertake this exercise along our borders.
Well, it has become necessary to undertake this exercise along our borders because it is one of the key, the key or the core duties of Ghana Armed Forces to make sure that our borders are protected. And that is exactly what they are doing. But if you look at the activities in our neighboring countries of Burkina Faso, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire, these countries have intensified their military actions against these terrorist groupings. And so Ghana obviously becomes a safe haven for these for people who are looking for a place to go. And so a lot of people are coming in huge numbers. And so it has become necessary to really look and see what is it that these people are coming to do, who are coming to this country, who comes in and who goes out. It is important we do that because intelligence has indicated that some of these people have actually disguised themselves into herdsmen, into illegal immigrants, and are coming into this country. Apart from those who we have that are coming through approved routes, we also have a good number coming through unapproved routes. And so it is a worrying thing, and it is something that we really have to be on top to really make sure that those who are coming through unapproved routes are really monitored, and then, you know, whatever we need to do, we do to make sure that the Ghanaian is protected.
The big question is, how were they able to come into this country first before this exercise is being undertaken?
Come again, I can barely hear.
I was saying the big question on the minds of many is that they were able to come into this country first before this exercise is being undertaken.
Well, the fact is that you know we have porous borders in our country. So if you have an approved route and somebody is coming through an approved route, you can easily monitor the person. But when you have porous borders such as ours, people can easily come in and then can easily go out. But fortunately for us, we were on top of the situation. And so, yes, some of them have come in, but we have been able to monitor, and also even those who came through the unapproved route, we've been able to handle the situation and then, you know, make any potential, I repeat, any potential, you know, untoward thing that probably might have happened to this country into the bad. So we've been able to do that.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. And Kofi Amankwa-Manu is Deputy Defense Minister. Martin.
Right, on to some other stories this evening. 17 defunct state-owned enterprises have been earmarked for liquidation pending parliamentary approval. The Minister for Public Enterprises, Joseph Kujo, who made this known at a media briefing, indicated that the affected companies cannot be revived.
The Minister for Public Enterprise, Joseph Kujo, took his turn at the Minister's press briefing series to give accounts on the performance of state-owned enterprises under his watch. The companies include the Aboso Glass Factory, Bolgatanga Meat Processing Factory, State Construction Company, Bonsata Factory, and the Ghana Food Production Corporation.
17 defunct as we count on our records now. At the policy level, decisions have been made on entities that we intend to liquidate. Liquidate means just collapse them. Well, this comes through our study of their current situation and then making the projection and realizing that they are just siphoning money from government purse and have become liabilities rather than assets. There are some, upon the review, we intend listing them on the stock market because it is possible to get the investing public, Ghanaians, having equity stakes in them.
Of the remaining 175 state-owned enterprises, some also post losses in their operations, compelling the sector ministry to digitalize their operations to mitigate revenue leakages.
There's a telecommunications center when it was, that's the mobile telephony center. When it was emerging, the state had participation in it, and the private sector enterprise had participation in that sector. Today, where is the state enterprise? It is up to us to come to realistic terms that when Ghanaians are given a mandate to manage a state asset, the mindset is different from when they are managing their own asset. Every sector of the economy, the state was having an enterprise, which today has been successfully collapsed.
Government equity in public enterprises as of December 2016 was 35.7 billion cedis. A public enterprise league has been designed to engender competition among some 50 public enterprises.
In more news tonight, a team of Ghanaian surgeons have successfully performed kidney transplantations on 2 kidney failure patients at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Sarah Apenkro reports that the breakthrough surgery potentially reduces treatment costs, thus making it much more affordable for hundreds of Ghanaians with the disease.
Ghana has an estimated 13.3% chronic kidney disease prevalence, with over 1,000 patients on dialysis requiring transplants for treatment. Most transplants are done in India, South Africa and Singapore, causing financial burdens for patients and their families. The landmark transplantation is the second to be conducted at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The maiden one in 2019 was a collaboration with Transplant Links UK. 2 male patients and 2 female donors underwent a $21,000 transplant on July 4th and 5th, both at no cost. Management of the hospital is seeking Parliament's involvement in developing a legal framework for organ donation and harvest.
If we pass enabling legislation that allows people to be able to say that, look, in the event of my death, you can harvest my kidney or my whatever organ, so that it will save another life. There are many of the patients, sometimes they come, they do the testing, and none of their available relatives is a match. So, there's no point in taking the transplantation because it will fail. But then if you have this enabling legislation, then this is something that will enable more transplantation cases to happen.
The transplant team, led by Professor Matthew Che and kidney specialist Dr. Vincent Boima, aims to expand local capacity at teaching hospitals nationwide.
We are here to stay. No disease, no condition will prevent us from giving our Ghanaians what they really need. We are not only looking at Kolebu, there are potential to train other people to be in the other hospitals.
The hospital's development partner, the First Sky Group, would fund the transplant for patients who can't afford.
We will continue to pay for all those who cannot pay. But those who can pay, we are encouraging them that they should pay and receive these services.
Next month, 3 patients will undergo transplants, while plans for a kidney transplant theatre are underway. A patient with kidney disease requires to undergo at least 3 times of dialysis in a week. The cost of dialysis here at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital costs between 400 to 600 cedis. That means a patient will need over 70,000 cedis to undergo dialysis in a year. A transplant locally done at no cost is indeed going to be a relief to the less privileged. Sarah Penkro, TV3 News, Accra.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We have business for you right after this.
Gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Who don't like chop money? Dewa Chop Money is here! Collect your chop money every morning at 8:30 a.m. by simply dialing *446# and select option 2 to play Dewa 539 chop money. Win 40 times your stake with Direct 2, 400 times your stake with Direct 3, and 20 times your stake with Direct 1. You can also pay your numbers to win big. You only pick your numbers from 1 to 39, so winning is easy. Win every day with Dewa 539 Direct, the only lottery that offers you the best chances of winning. Collect your chop money every morning into your mobile wallet. Dial *446# to play Dewa 539 chop money now. Dewa,
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
There are some moments that last forever because they happen only once. Like your very first day, your first day of school, your first successful bike ride. What's your child's next milestone? Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is here to ensure they smile through it all. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture has been keeping children smiling for more than a decade by relieving them from gastric pain, flatulence, minor digestive upset, and teething discomfort. Now, Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Michael Obodu is here to give us the latest in the world of business. Michael, take it over.
Sure thing. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the business segment on News 360. My name is Michael Obodu. Straight into our first story. As a total of 422 suspects, including 3 foreigners, are being investigated over alleged illegal digital financial service transactions. A joint cybersecurity committee comprising the Cybersecurity Authority, Bank of Ghana and YOCO have revealed that these suspects were involved in unauthorized loan provision via digital platform. The following report has more.
Addressing the media, member of the Joint Cybersecurity Committee and Executive Director of YOCO, COP Mamiya Tiwa Adodankwa said the suspected operators of the unlicensed digital lending apps will be made to face full rigors of the law if found guilty.
In all, 654 mobile phones were retrieved, 22 laptops, computers, and 800 SIM cards were retrieved as part of the exercise. And investigations are ongoing, and with the support of the Cybersecurity Authority, we'll go through the processes and procedures as prescribed by law.
For his part, Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority, Dr. Albert Enchibo-Isiaku, expressed commitment to rid the cyberspace of crimes.
The Joint Cybersecurity Committee is working closely with relevant law enforcement agencies and the public. It's assured that perpetrators will be prosecuted. Of course, the earlier action of awareness creation advisory will continue to go on. I believe in Bank of Ghana's leadership in taking actions against actors who are not licensed to provide financial services.
Head of Financial Stability at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Joseph France, says his outfit is committed to a robust digital financial service ecosystem.
The Bank of Ghana remains resolute in building a robust, resilient, and safe digital financial service industry, trusted by both local and international stakeholders. It has therefore established the requisite regulatory and supervisory systems to promote a digital financial service space of integrity that safeguard the interests of consumers.
Now, food inflation has recorded a consistent increase with about 20 percentage points compared to non-food inflation. Inflation for June has increased marginally to 42.5% compared to 42.2% in May. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna-Enim wants policymakers to take a critical look at factors contributing to the increase in food inflation.
Food inflation was at 54.2%, higher than the national average, with imported products increasing by 43.8%, while locally produced items saw a rate of 36.2%. Imported items continues to dominate in the rate of inflation compared to locally produced items.
Minimum, we've seen a widening of the gap between food and non-food inflation. So at the minimum, we need to focus on why we see food inflation going up relative to non-food inflation. As we indicated, we have seen about a 20 percentage point change between food and non-food inflation, which is higher than the gaps that we saw in the previous months.
Government statistician Professor Kobna-Enim has advised attention should be drawn to items that have recorded inflation rates higher than the national average.
Among the top 20 items, we see fish either from a smoked perspective or a fresh fish perspective. These are items that have weight of about 2.9 and 1.8 in our basket, and they are recording changes in excess of 80%. So clearly, if we want to drive down inflation at the item level, this should be the focus. The other thing that should be the focus from the item perspective are those items that are commonly consumed irrespective of the characteristics of households and are finding their way into the top 20 items, one of which is fresh tomatoes. We didn't see fresh tomatoes in the last top 20 items that saw the highest change. We didn't see vegetables, we didn't see all that. But now garden eggs, vegetables, and fresh tomatoes have found their way in the top 20 items.
Western North region recorded the highest rate of inflation of 61.8%, with Greater Accra region recording the lowest rate of inflation of 30%.
Consolidated Bank Ghana has signed an agreement with the United Nations Global Compact to become the first state-owned commercial bank in Ghana to be a member of the UNGC. By becoming a signatory to this agreement, CBG demonstrates its dedication to ethical conduct, transparency, and the pursuit of sustainable development goals.
The United Nations Global Compact is a principle-based framework for businesses stating 10 principles in the areas of human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption. By being a member of the United Nations Global Compact, CBG pledges to accelerate the world's progress towards sustainability by integrating environment, social, and governance solutions into its internal operations and business activities. CEO of CBG, Daniel Aldo, told the media what the agreement means to the bank.
So for us, what it means is that we have aligned with a set of principles, we've aligned with other like-minded organizations that are focused on and that are committed to working towards the greater good of mankind. The principles that underline the UN Global Compact for us are self-evident. For us, they are the very core of our business practices anyway. But aligning with the UNGC allows us then to draw on the expertise of the wider organization, to draw on those resources, and to grow our business in a resilient and sustainable manner.
Executive Director of the UN Global Compact Network Ghana, Tolu Kwekula-Cross, welcomed the bank to the network.
We are gathered here to happily and warmly welcome Consolidated Bank Ghana into the family of the UN Global Compact. The Global Compact members all over the world are working right now actively on issues surrounding sustainability, but sustainability that also affects corporate actions that bring development into their communities, but then also change the way they do business, which enables them to, by the product of their goods and services, provide a benefit to society.
That will be all for business here on News 360. For more business stories, please visit our website, 3news.com. My name is Michael Obudu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe. Up next is sports.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN just for you. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family because every smile matters. New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
With Glovo, you order anything you want, and when you receive it, you celebrate it with your whole body. Because when that tasty grilled chicken is here, the weekend starts. The ingredients for your favorite recipe just in time. And when the cake arrives, the party is on. Because receiving anything on Global deserves a dance. Download the app, order anything you want, and track it minute by minute until it arrives. Global. Order anything, we deliver.
That's wonderful! And that is what champions do!
It feels good to football with GoTV.
Works the space well and scores a
Nobody but GoTV gives you all games of La Liga and Serie A, the Premier League and UEFA games that matter, and the world's favorite cup competitions. Get GoTV Super for only 249 cedis to enjoy the football overload. GoTV, love it.
Extra work, I dare for you. Extra work deserves extra taste. Tasty dear. Plus, we've added extra crackers in each bag. Royal King Cracker. Take choke your hunger. This advert is FDA approved.
Many people think I get whatever I want because I'm a popular actress. But no, that is not true. Me Alcasano, Adebia mi yebiano, me shishimpe papano. And when I find it, I stick to it. My shishimenya Bell Pack tissues. Bell Pack ewe tea roll. Bell Pack tea roll. Soft, but not weak. Strong, but not hard. It is smooth. Me yusua, me hotome. It's just perfect. Same as the kitchen towel. What about what? What me the papaye? What me soki? Echimu esa pepa. One Bell Pack kitchen towel lasts longer and saves you money. It's time you switch to Bell Pack today. Say here pocket tissue, table napkin, tea roll, and a kitchen towel. Bell Pack is simply the best. It's just perfect.
Nothing feels so good like Bell Pack.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Gentleman Cosmetic Range,
Bell Pack Tissues.
All right, so it's time for sports, and Oreku for Israel. Hello, Oreku.
Hi, Martin.
What's going on in sports?
And so there's some good news because Ghana football is supposed to have a new direction.
Okay.
What? And a cat?
Don't worry, I'll quench your curiosity.
Okay.
And so today on the sports segment, we'll be starting off from some forward thinking because from now on, Ghana football is expected to have an identity after the launch of the National Football Philosophy document by the Ghana Football Association. 3 Sports was at an event held early on Wednesday and filed this report. 12th of July 2023 could be remembered as a massive turnaround for Ghanaian football. It is the day that the Ghana Football Association officially launched the National Football Philosophy, a document detailing the DNA of Ghana football and how the team wants to be identified in terms of playing the sport. It is an event that took place at the Africa Trade House here in Accra and was graced by a number of stakeholders ranging from football coaches, former players, Ghana Football Association members, and then members of the Select Committee for Sport in Parliament. Ghana Football Association President Keto Kraku urged coaches to move the document on in terms of practicalizing it and ensuring that it brings success to the country.
To our coaches, our instructors, management members of our various national teams, from U15 to senior team level, most importantly, from U15 to U23, it is time for you to work. If there will be a true meaning to this DNA, that true meaning will come from your individual efforts. And not only taking a copy of the DNA, not only studying the DNA, but also ensuring that every page of this document is implemented.
The technical director of the Ghana Football Association, Bernard Lepe, who led the initiative to put together the football philosophy, says that the document was fundamentally based on principles, not systems and formations.
Nowadays, you don't teach football through formations. You teach football through principles. You have principles for an individual player, you have principles for group tactic, you have principles when you are with the ball, when you are without the ball, and you can adapt this to different formations. It's not anymore like this, that Ghana must play the next 20 years also a 4-4-2. It's not like this.
Up next is to ensure that the document is sent to coaches and RFAs so that the next generation of footballers coming through the coast football and the lower age groups will truly understand how to play football the new Ghanaian way. It will be a journey of patience, perseverance and consistency, but it's expected that in a few years' time, Ghana would be playing football with a specific philosophy that brings success to the country. Uri Kwampofo from the African Trade House, Accra, for 3 Sports. Well, let's do some more here on the sports segment, where MultiChoice Ghana donated a DSTV decoder with a 1-year subscription and a TV set for the James Cup Prisons as part of their 30th anniversary celebrations. We do have more details for you in the following report.
The initiative, according to the Managing Director of MultiChoice, Mr. Alex Otre, is to help the inmates catch up with information while they are in the prisons. DSP Bayo Abbas, the man in charge of IT operations, received the donations on behalf of the inmates. Mr. Otre revealed that the company's close geographic proximity with the prisons was crucial to this donation.
We wanted to do something as part of our 30th anniversary. We scanned around our immediate environment and realized that there's this institution here that is training these inmates. So we want to play a part in that process, and so that's why we chose here.
The initiative will also take these inmates through on-the-job training as they seek to help the inmates successfully install DSTV and GoTV satellite dishes.
Once they come out, they'll be able to, or they'll have the skills to help with our installation, and that creates jobs for them. So that's another area that we're going to discuss with the management here and try to do for them.
When the inmates go to bed tonight, they will say a prayer of thanks to the MultiChoice family as they watch their exciting list of channels for a whole year.
To some tennis updates, where Spanish top seed Carlos Alcaraz moved into the Wimbledon semi-finals for the first time and would face Russian third seed Daniil Medvedev in the last 4. Alcaraz beat Danish 6th seed Holger Rune after winning by 7-6, 6-4, 6-4 in his quarterfinal. Unseeded Chris Eubank's dream run was ended by 27-year-old Medvedev in a thrilling 5-set match. Medvedev, who had never been past the last 16 of the competition before, beat the American 6-4, 1-6, 4-6, 7-6, 6-1. Up the sports here on News 360. If you want some more sports stories, you can follow us on social media at 3SportsGH. My name is Uri Kwampofo, and next up on the bulletin is entertainment.
GASM, with over 50 years of experience, has various grades for various jobs. The GASM Extra 42.5N is suitable for ultra-high strength structural application like bridges, dams and high-rise buildings. The GASM Super Strong 42.5R was made for high structural applications like precast concrete and block manufacturing. The GASM Super Rapid 32.5R is here for normal building foundations like strip foundation and other ordinary concrete works. The GASM Super Cool 32.5N is best for all block laying, tiling and other mortar works. Never believe that one grade of cement can be used for all jobs. Choose GASM cement always. GASM, 4 cement grades, excellent customer value. GASM, the nation builder.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us, refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is said here.
Mami Musa was same yansa. Mun networks are mu use no. I'm praying and I'm recharge ya. Munyam faso everyone so. Ah, mabwa, kapre. Wait. And that's what you madi. Muntian kai body through. Vodafone say every Saturday kwe a brevia over recharge from 5 cities el Kobiano. Assigned with seeking up to 20% amount back cash. Our Vodafone cash so. It shock you? What did you hear say? Over recharge. Say my Vodafone app. Vodafone cash. Credit transfer. Short code. MOBIA. Rodia.
Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana Cedi or more in Vodafone's double promotion and receive up to 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone double promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water. GTP, still timeless. Vodafone, further together. And powered by 3 Entertainment.
And Anita Kufu is here to give us the latest. That's hot entertainment news.
Hot.
Hot.
Sizzling hot.
And
You too. So ADJETEY has been talking. I mean, he released his book quite recently during his 50th birthday, and he didn't expect the kind of buzz it's getting.
Positive? Mixed?
Mixed.
Sort of.
Yeah, I mean, a certain part of the book is trending.
Right.
Yeah, and he wasn't expecting that. And so he's been doing some talking with you entertainment.
Okay.
So let's get into it. And a seasoned actor, ADJETEY, has reacted to conversations surrounding his memoir released at his 50th birthday celebration. And speaking to 3 Entertainment, the actor noted it's really worrying how people have focused on a negative part of his book, neglecting all the other positive and inspirational aspects.
I knew that people would go the way they're going, and I find it that such an irony because we go. I've heard so many people criticize the West of representing Africa, and all they show is negativity, and yet we're doing even worse. So we have no right to condemn them. We have no right to judge them when we're doing that to ourselves, because our focus is mainly to sensationalize, whatever that we put out there and negate the negatives without looking at the positives that will have impact on our lives. Because when you keep on harping on the negatives, what do you expect? It to repeat it. But what are the lessons learned out of these things? And those are the focus that we all focus on. But it's, and then to the point where people are stringing their own headlines. And some of the things that I've seen, I've just been laughing because there was no point in the book that I asked my wife for forgiveness. And it's there clearly. There's no point to suggest that I slept with all these girls. I mean, come on, please. So, I mean, it's just for people to get the understanding. And the thing is that people don't read. That's the bad thing too, that somebody just says a word and somebody takes it up and it starts a whole new conversation without really paying attention to the what's in the book and really analyzing what has been said and all that. But we're just a negative kind of people most of the time, and it's just unfortunate. So that would be my response to what has come up so far.
Adjetey Anang wants those under the spotlight, and most especially the younger generation, to take a cue from the lessons shared in his memoir in order to avoid making the same mistakes he made.
I don't think that I needed to wait that long. The choices some choices that I made when I was younger, there are people presently who may make those same choices, some people who are already in it. And so why would I want to wait that long for me to, sort of send them a caution based on my experience and my journey? So that what I'll be doing is that I'm helping sort of use my experience as a pointer for them to know that, oh, okay, I just did have these challenges because he didn't put these boundaries in place, A, B, and C, and therefore, if I do same, I may go through this experience too. So it was just to get people to not make the same mistakes that I did and make certain choices that I made, so that we're growing our industry not just technically, aesthetically, but the humanity in terms of character. That for me is so important.
And now let's take you to Nigeria, where Ghana's Black Sherif has been nominated in the African Artist of the Year category alongside Nigeria's Burna Boy and Rema, Diamond Platinums from Tanzania, and Marwa Loud from Morocco in the 16th Headies Awards. The Kweku the Traveler singer also bagged a nomination in the Best West African Artist of the Year category with two other talented Ghanaian artists, that is Jackie and Kamido. The 2023 edition of the Headies Awards promises to be a memorable one, celebrating the incredible talent that has shaped the industry in the past year. And that'll be all for the entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ekuya Ekufu. Up next is international news. Good evening.
53 children have been rushed to a hospital in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, after falling unconscious when tear gas was thrown into their class by police during protest. Eagle Nursing Home Hospital owner Dr. Aaron Shikuku told the BBC they have been able to stabilize the children who have been at the hospital for about 4 hours. There have been protests around the country called by the opposition over the rising cost of living. 2 people are reported to have died as protesters stormed a police station and torched it, and another man died after a police van was attacked along the Nairobi Expressway in Mulongo in the outskirts of the city.
That's it for News 360. Before we go, a reminder from Pepsodent.
Okay.
Remember to brush your teeth before you go to bed this evening and tomorrow morning when you wake up from bed with either Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, Pepsodent Charcoal, Pepsodent Herbal, or Pepsodent Triple Protection. Because with Pepsodent, every smile matters.
You definitely need to brush your teeth with Pepsodent. And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Martin Esiedi.
I am Portia Gabo. We have Ghana Tonight later at 10 p.m. with Alfredo Kamsi. Good evening.